Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Bam Adebayo's Olympic run just killed the Jimmy Butler era in Miami. Bam Adebayo's numbers at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris won't stand out as he was relegated to being a bit player on a stacked Team USA. He averaged 6.0 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 1.3 assists in 16.1 minutes per game. However, he was a plus 32 across the US's 6 contests, more accurately showing his impact on the team's run to a 5th consecutive gold medal. His best game came against South Sudan when he was the best player on the floor. He scored 18 points in 21 minutes on 8 of 10 shooting and 2 of 3 from 3. He added 7 rebounds, a steal and a pair of blocks. He may have been overshadowed by Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis, along with LeBron James, Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry, but Adebayo showed how his versatile game can add value and slot into any group. As he returns to the NBA to prepare for the 2024-25 season, it's become clear that the Miami Heat need to take Jimmy Butler's car keys and hand them to Adebayo. Adebayo showed in Paris that he's capable of being a role player. The Heat need to let him cook like a superstar. Bam is consistently one of the most overlooked stars in the league. He earned his first All-Star berth in the 2019-20 season, his first as a full-time starter, and finished that campaign with averages of 15.9 points, 10.2 rebounds, 5.1 assists, 1.1 steals and 1.3 blocks. He shot 55.7% from the field on 11.0 attempts per game. Over the 4 ensuing seasons, he's averaged 19.4 points, 9.6 rebounds, 4.0 assists and 2.1 steals plus blocks. He's made 2 more All-Star teams, 5 All-Defensive teams, and has finished in the top 5 of Defensive Player of the Year voting in 5 consecutive seasons. Over that same time frame, Butler has averaged 21.3 points, 6.1 rebounds and 5.7 assists. He's only played more than 60 games once during those 5 seasons, and as he turns 35 this year, is arguably coasting on the playoff Jimmy label he admittedly earned during the 2022 and 2023 postseasons. Last year, however, Butler missed Miami's opening round series loss to the Boston Celtics, while Adebayo led the Heat in minutes, scoring and rebounding. He was second in assists and shot 49.5% from the field despite averaging 19.4 field goal attempts per game, nearly 4 more than any other Miami player. It's relatively plain to see that this Heat roster is built to fit around Adebayo, not Butler. Miami Heat superstar Jimmy Butler makes a surprise appearance to introduce new Pixel feature. Miami Heat superstar Jimmy Butler is a Pixel user, and he made a brief appearance at today's Made by Google event to help introduce the new Add Me feature to the Pixel 9 line. Add Me allows a Pixel user to take a photo and then use AI to include himself in the final version of the picture. To show how it worked, Google went to the bench and called for the 6-time NBA All-Star to take part in a presentation showing off the new feature. One Google employee stood next to Jimmy Buckets while another snapped the photo. When framing the picture, enough room was left to Butler's left to account for the second Google employee who was going to be added to the photo. After that photo is taken, a second one was taken of the person being added to the original photo. Using the magic of AI, oh, if only I had a nickel for each time AI was mentioned during the event, the 2 images were melded together creating a photo of Jimmy Butler surrounded by 2 excited Google employees. The feature will be available on all Pixel 9 series phones. Now you might ask why you would need a feature like this, so let's create a scenario. You're walking down the street with your friend and who do you see? Why, it's 6-time NBA All-Star Jimmy Butler. You could ask a stranger to take the picture of all 3 of you together, but if you're like me, you don't like to turn your phone over to anyone in case they drop it or run away with it. Another option is to use the front-facing selfie snapper to get a photo of you, your friend, and the 6 feet 7 inches Butler in one photo. But your arms might be too short, negating this option. Using AdMe is the best solution since you still only need to take one picture that includes the Miami Heat star and turn it into a picture that both you and your friend will share with others forever. Pre-orders of the Pixel 9 series start today and will go on sale August 22nd with Android 14, surprise, not Android 15 pre-installed. Proposed blockbuster trade send Heat $90 million champion. The Miami Heat need any help they can get back to the NBA Finals and win their 4th title as a franchise. Getting help will mean acquiring talented and experienced players, like Washington Wizards wing Kyle Kuzma. Bleacher Report's Greg Swartz proposed a blockbuster trade that would send Kuzma to the Heat. He outlined the following trade between the Heat, Wizards, and Orlando Magic in an August 12 story. Heat receive, Kuzma. Magic receive, Malcolm Brogdon, Josh Richardson, 2026 Lakers second-round pick. Wizards receive, Cole Anthony, Jet Howard, Nikola Jovic, Duncan Robinson, 2029 top 5 protected Heat first-round pick. Swartz then explained why Kuzma would appeal to the Heat. Kuzma averaged 22.2 points, 6.6 rebounds, 4.2 assists and made 35.5% of his catch-and-shoot threes last season. He'd be an ideal starting power forward between Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo as a scoring threat who can space the floor and serve as a willing passer. He played a huge part in helping the Lakers win a title in 2020. If Miami pulled off a trade for him, he would give the Heat another scorer. Better yet, he gives them another scoring wing, which they haven't had to put next to Butler since he joined the team in 2019. Kuzma plays for one of the NBA's worst teams in Washington. Because the Wizards are in the midst of a rebuild, he wouldn't have much of a future there on paper. NBA teams are keeping their eye on Kuzma's availability. ESPN's own Young Masuk reported in a July 17 story that NBA teams have interest in Kuzma. However, the Wizards are not looking to trade Kuzma as soon as possible. There is also interest around the league in forward Kyle Kuzma, but Washington will continue to operate with patience as it looks for young talent and draft picks, Young Masuk wrote. At 29 years old, Kuzma is square in his prime. He will also enter the second year of a 4-year, $90 million contract. Because of the length of that contract, the Wizards have plenty of time to decide what they want to do with Kuzma. The Heat may have to offer more for Kuzma than what Swartz outlined since his contract is cheap, knowing what he can do. While the Wizards have time to think about their next move, the Heat do not. Not only is Kuzma in his prime right now, but that contract becomes less and less expensive with each passing year. For the 2024-25 season, Kuzma will be paid $23 million. The season after that, it will go to $21 million, then $19 million in its last year. That could also factor into how his contract will only increase in value with each passing year. A team like Miami needs a player like Kuzma because he fits what they want on the court, and his contract could help them avoid the NBA's tax aprons. They can get better, and they wouldn't have to face financial repercussions for doing so. The Wizards may not have much use for him, but because of the advantages he provides, the price for him would not be low. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Kyle Kuzma? Leave your opinion in the comments.